Deputy President William Ruto is in Mombasa, where he will meet both government officials and the political leadership to try and find solutions for terrorist incidents and insecurity at the coast. The latest act of insecurity occurred at the Joy in Jesus Church in Likoni last Sunday, where a total of 6 people were killed as unidentified gunmen shot indiscriminately at the churchgoers. The Deputy President this morning visited the ill-fated Likoni Church and will later meet the county commissioners, county police commanders and governors from Mombasa, Kilifi and Kwale counties. While at the coast, Ruto will also lead officials from the national government as well as the 47 governors and the members of county assemblies in the devolution conference in Kwale starting on Wednesday. In what has been touted as the biggest devolution conference to date, leaders from both the county government and national government are expected to iron out their differences, discuss development.
Ama mkora atakaye tuzuia kumcha Mungu. And we are making that statement as Kenyans. Na tunasema sote, viongozi wa kisiasa, viongozi wa kanisa, viongozi wa serikali, tutashirikiana sisi wote kuhakikisha ya kwamba Kenya inaendelea kuwa nchi yenye inamcha Mungu. Haki ya kila Mkenya kushiriki katika ibada ya dini yeyote inaheshimiwa, na watoto wetu tunawalinda kutokana na mafundisho ambayo yanawapotosha.
Residents of Nyalenda Estate in Kisumu County were treated to dramatic scenes when a mother-in-law rejected the body of her daughter-in-law, which had been transported to the area of burial in the homestead. The woman claimed the deceased had failed to attend her husband's funeral and therefore did not deserve to be buried next to him.
The delegation that arrived to bury the dead woman did not receive a warm welcome when it arrived in Nyalenda, Kisumu. Instead, drama broke out. The owner of the homestead, the mother-in-law of the deceased woman, refused to allow the mourners to bury the body in the homestead.
Wakati nilikuwa ninakunywa pombe, nikasikia sauti. Na hiyo sauti nikitoka nje nikaona kama wanapeleka maiti. Ilikuwa tuktuk moja na wapikipiki 3. Tukaamua maiti wametoka wapi? Na kwa ni wapi? Tukaamua tumrudishie hiyo maiti kwao.
The mother-in-law claimed that the dead woman had failed to attend the funeral of her husband, who died recently, and therefore did not deserve to be buried next to him. She suggested that the mourners make their way to another family plot located 3 kilometers away from her home.
Sai amekufa. Alafu mama anasema tunapeleka Vigwa. Vigwa tupeleke wapi? Na nyumba yake ndio hii. Sababu gani? Vile alizika mtoto yake na alikuwa bibi ya kijana yake, achukue huyo mama kama bibi ya kijana yake. Hakuna chenye tutafanyia, lakini ataona tu na uso. Ataona na uso. Achukue bibi ya kijana yake.
And when the locals insisted on fulfilling their mission in the homestead, the mother-in-law chased them all off, carrying away the tools meant to dig the grave. At the time of our departure, the standoff over where to bury the deceased was yet to be resolved. Wilkisanyabwa, KTN.
Now, the civil society has expressed its concern over the rampant insecurity and recent acts of terrorism in the country. Speaking at a Nairobi hotel, they demanded immediate action from security agencies and proper use of the funds allocated to them. They faulted the Inspector General of Police, David Kimayo, for violating the law in appointing county commanders.
What we are saying is that the Inspector General's action was not processed by the National Police Service Commission. And therefore, whatever deal the chairman of the National Police Commission made after some apparent arm twisting is outside the framework of the Constitution, is therefore illegal, and the courts are perhaps right to the extent that whatever actions were taken may have been taken in the nick of time, in the wake of spiraling insecurity.
Senior officers must desist from issuing orders that can only lead to chaos. The shoot-to-kill orders issued by the Mombasa County Commissioner, Mr. Nelson Marwa, are a panic reaction that only makes terrorists bolder because they thrive in the very chaos that such orders may cause. We call upon the Inspector General of Police to work within the institutional arrangement where he is part of the decision-making process by the National Police Service Commission. Taking solo decisions which go against the law is one cause of lethargy within the service right now.
KOTU Secretary General Francis Atwoli has raised his concern over the state of insecurity in the country. Speaking yesterday while meeting KOTU stewards, Atwoli urged Kenyans to support the Inspector General of Police in his efforts to curb insecurity in the country. He also delved into the ongoing squabbles between the Police Inspector General and the Kavuludi Commission over the transfer of corps, saying they may undermine the war against insecurity.
Hiyo mambo ya vetting must stop. Vetting of police officers must stop. If we want peace in this country, watu tutapigwa marisasi polisi wakiangalia, sio mchezo. We need to assure them of their job security. We need to handle them with great care. We need to subject them to law and order. Hakuna serikali duniani inaweza kuallow kama iko mambo ya discipline katika force. That is why they are called discipline forces. Mtu aende kotini na achukue order. Kazi ya Inspector General itakuwa kazi gani? Kama si hivyo, mtoe Inspector General, muache Kavuludi. Ama mtoe Kavuludi, muache Inspector General.
Corps lieutenants have endorsed former Vice President Kalonzo Musyoka for the 2017 presidential race. The leaders drawn from coalition parties of Ford Kenya and ODM say they will support Kalonzo's candidature as its flag bearer. It is a declaration that complicates arithmetics in the coalition, with Ford Kenya leader Moses Wetangula declaring he would want to vie for presidency in 2017 and accord, while its leader Raila Odinga has not shown any indications of resigning from politics.
Kilome MP Regina Ndambuki's homecoming turned into a political hotbed for the 2017 succession politics. Never mind the 3-year time difference, CORD is laying groundwork to make amends for its 2014 presidential loss. And the coalition lieutenants are reorganizing their house, this time picking on its number 2, Kalonzo Musyoka, as its preferred flag bearer come 2017 polls.
Mheshimiwa Kalonzo amekuwa kwangu 2 weeks ago, akajionea ya kwamba tuko tayari kumpeleka mbele awe president wa nchi. Kwa ni ubaya
kama jamii ya Wakamba hatuna wakati wa kujenga kiongozi mwingine kumpeana kwa wananchi akubaliwe asubuhi kama Kalonzo.
We are a people who believe that this country belongs to all of us. And when the time comes, we shall reciprocate.
The succession drumbeat set off by Ford Kenya legislature Ferdinand Wanyonyi. The party under the leadership of Moses Wetangula being a principal partner in the CORD coalition. Seconding the endorsement is a close Raila ally Opiyo Wandayi. But in rubber stamping for a Kalonzo candidature, the Kilome declaration complicates the matrix in CORD coalition, given that Ford Kenya leader has declared his interest in vying for the presidency in CORD, while CORD leader Raila Odinga has not indicated relinquishing his presidential ambitions.
Vile mmeambiwa ni ya kwamba hawa vijana tuwapewa kazi imewashinda.
The contribution of His Excellency Kalonzo Musyoka
to the reformation of this country's politics. Na sisi kama watu wa Nyanza tunamwamini Kalonzo sio kiongozi tu wa Ukambani. Kalonzo ni kiongozi wa nchi kwa jumla.
To counter the Jubilee tyranny of numbers that dealt CORD defeat in the presidential elections, CORD leaders are rallying their troops to register for identification cards and subsequently voter registration cards.
Na vijana wote, kila mtu ana kadi. Kipande, mchukue kipande kwa sababu huwezi kupiga kura. Ndio sisi wote 2017 tuwe na kura inatosha.
Tuwaomba tuwasi, tukianza muanze kuchukua ID zenu kwa sababu bila numbers, bila kuwa na watu wa kupiga kura, jameni, hatuwezi kufika.
Kalonzo, who attended the function, steered clear the succession politics and his endorsement, instead picking a fight with the Jubilee administration for failing to deliver on its promises.
Na sisi hatuna ubaya, lakini ukiangalia mwaka mmoja wa Jubilee, hatuwezi kukubali mwaka mwingine kama aina hii. Ikiwa ni wizi wa laptop computer, anaahidi watoto, kila mtoto atapata laptop. Wangapi wameipata? Hata walimu wenyewe hawajapata ability.
Samogina, KTN.
Narok farmers and motorists in Nariragie-Kare area of the county are an unhappy lot over the poor state of roads in the area. Farmers say the road between Kojanga and Nariragie-Kare remains impassable. They claim they are unable to transport their farm produce to the markets or are forced to sell their produce at low prices owing to the poor state of the roads. The farmers say lorries ferrying produce such as potatoes are getting stuck on a section of the road for days. Kojanga is an area known for potato production. The farmers now want the government to intervene and help repair the roads to enable farmers get their produce to the market in good time.
Sasa tunakujaga hapa Narok ama Masaini kuchukua viazi. Tunapeleka Nairobi. Sasa kwa wakati huu kumekuwa na shida kubwa sana kwa hii barabara. Hata kuna gari ilikuwa imeanguka hapa juzi. Kuna zingine nilikuwa nimekuta hapa asubuhi zikiwa zimelemewa kabisa. Sana kuna shimo iko hapa inasubua sisi sana. Hata gari hii gari imekata kitu ya 2,500 hii yenye imekatia pale juu.
Huwezi beba mzigo yenye inastahili, na beba mzigo tu kidogo sababu ya barabara kuharibika. Naomba serikali tuangalie itutengenezee hii barabara sababu ni barabara baya sana.
Bei ya mzigo wetu inaanguka chini. Shauri ya hii barabara na ni hapa tu, si pale pengine. Kwa hivyo tunaangalia serikali, tunataka kuomba. Tulichagua na ikapita. Tunataka tuangaliwe kabisa sababu sisi ni wana Kenya.
Nairobi Women Representative Rachel Shebesh has called on women to embrace the table banking concept. Speaking at Marion Preparatory School in Kahawa West, moments after launching her website, Shebesh lauded efforts made by women leaders in the country towards the economic freedom. She added that women in Nairobi should embrace the table banking model adopted in Uasin Gishu County as a way out of their financial stagnation. Shebesh's move is expected to inspire other women leaders whose relevance in parliament is being questioned.
I'm also launching my website. My website really is to showcase what women reps I feel should be doing. You know, we have no real terms of reference in terms of the work we should be doing. So what we do mostly is for vulnerable people. And so I want people to know that in Nairobi, I have been working on several initiatives with some partners. And therefore, if you go to into the website today, you'll go to see what work I've been doing as Nairobi County Women Rep.
More than 1 million people have been forced from their homes by the ongoing conflict in South Sudan. Of these, over 800,000 have been displaced within the country, and another 250 have fled to neighboring countries. According to the latest UN report, it warns that the situation is likely to get worse as the violence continues. Fighting erupted between the forces of President Salva Kiir and troops loyal to his former deputy Riek Machar in December. The two sides signed a ceasefire agreement in January, but sporadic fighting has continued. In its reports, the UN Office for the Coordination of Humanitarian Affairs said the conflict had caused a serious deterioration in the food security situation.
Then you are bending down.